All right, let's open the dossier on one of the most fascinating figures in this entire narrative, Mr. Sinos, the man they call the institutional spirit of negation.
Okay, to really get what this guy is all about, let's start with a simple choice. On one side, you have the dangerous, difficult, but brilliant blaze of a sun, and on the other, you've got the safe, comfortable, predictable flicker of a candle.
So which one would you pick? Seriously, think about it for a second, because your answer to that question is the entire foundation of this character's philosophy, and he's betting he knows exactly which one you'll choose.
So let's meet the man making that bet. And you can forget the horns and the pitchfork. This is a tempter who's traded in his old Venetian velvet for a very sharp business suit.
And this right here really gets to the core of it. His power isn't mystical or demonic in that old-school sense anymore. No, it's institutional. He's the CEO of an idea, a systemic enabler of our own deepest, and maybe our most human desire for comfort over a real challenge.
And this brings us right to the heart of his operation, what the dossier calls his cosmic bet. It's a deeply cynical wager, and it's placed on the very soul of all of humanity.
He is wagering that when it really comes down to it, we will always choose comfort over greatness, that the struggle to become something more, that blazing sun, is just too hard for us. He's betting we'll take the candle every single time.
So here's the crucial part. He doesn't want to destroy us in some big, fiery apocalypse. That's messy, He wants something way more chilling, to just lull us into this state of perpetual, silent contentment. He's betting that we will happily trade our potential for greatness for a guarantee of just feeling pleasant.
Now, to win this bet, Sinos isn't just relying on good old-fashioned persuasion. Oh no, he has a tool, a highly sophisticated piece of machinery designed to make his wager an absolute sure thing.
He calls it the Gnostic engine, and its purpose is brutally simple. It gives you everything you could ever want, all the power of a god, but it surgically removes the one essential ingredient for growth, the struggle. It's a shortcut straight to the finish line.
And that struggle, it actually has a name, Anstoss. It's the obstacle, the resistance, the very thing you need to push against to find out who you really are. And that is exactly what Sinos's machine is built to eliminate from the human experience forever. And this lays out the transaction perfectly. Step 1, he offers you omnipotence on a silver platter. Step 2, the price, which you pay almost without noticing, is your independence, your soul, the whole shebang. And the result? You become a hollow shell, a philosophical lie, a puppet holding the strings to a universe you never actually earned.
But this is where the whole story takes a wild turn. Sinos aimed this incredible machine at his prime subject, the Wanderer, thinking he had the perfect guy to prove his bet was a lock. But the plan failed, spectacularly.
See, the goal was pretty straightforward. Corrupt this one powerful individual, make him a hollow god of the easy path, and then have him build a global cage of comfort to soothe his own emptiness and trap everybody else inside with him. And this brings us to the big turning point, the exact moment Sinos's cosmic bet just fell apart. What happens when the subject of your perfect experiment decides he isn't a puppet and just flips the whole table over? Instead of accepting the deal and just being erased, the Wanderer paid the price with affirmation. He seized control of the machine itself, declaring his own selfhood over the void that Sinos offered. He didn't just refuse the deal, he hacked it.
This Fichtean inversion, as the dossier calls it, was a complete and total disaster for Sinos. His new man refused to become the god of the easy path. So, with his cosmic bet in ruins, Sinos had to pivot hard.
So, with his #1 gambit completely blown, Sinos had to totally restructure his operation. He had to evolve from a direct tempter of a single soul into an architect of systemic, widespread apathy. And his new strategy is fascinating and, probably a lot more dangerous. He can't put all his eggs in one basket again. So instead, he outsources the work. He breaks his engine of denial into specialized parts and distributes them to 3 figures who are already predisposed to that whole flicker of a candle mentality. He's pivoting from a single tempter to an invisible system of temptation, which is a whole lot harder to fight. He goes to a place called the Bazaar of the Sleepers and approaches 3 new targets:
Each of them embodies a specific weakness he can exploit to build his global cage, not with one architect, but by committee.
First up, we've got the salesman. This guy sees the engine not as some tool for transcendence, but as inventory to be moved. So Sinos offers him the ultimate franchise deal, the commercial rights to comfort. His task is to package ease, to commodify it, and sell it as a sedative on a massive scale. He becomes the logistical arm of Negation Incorporated, turning our own desire for an easier life into the very bars of our cage.
Next, he weaponizes the soothsayer's cowardice. This man is terrified of the unknown, of the struggle. So Sinos gives him an algorithm that predicts and eliminates every single risk, turning him into the enforcer of a perfectly static, predictable future. It's safety turned into a prison, where nothing dangerous or truly magnificent can ever happen again.
And finally, there's the thief. He is pure entitlement. He wants the prize without having to run the race. Sinos hands him the raw, destructive power of the engine, making him a god in armor but a totally hollow man inside. And his new role? He becomes the jealous enforcer who strikes down anyone who actually tries to make the climb. He's the resentment of the effortless, weaponized against anyone with ambition.
So you see this massive evolution, right? Sinos has gone from being an antagonist of the self to the architect of an entire system. By weaving together commerce, fear, and entitlement, he's building the self-perpetuating cage for everyone, making sure that the path of least resistance becomes the only path there is.
And that leaves us right back where we started, with that choice. See, Sinos' bet is no longer on one man. It's on all of us. He is wagering that even after seeing someone break free, the rest of us will still choose the comfortable flicker of the candle, that we will willingly line up to buy our own cage. So the question is, would you?